Okay, and tip number 4, keep your commitments. Yes, this is a big one. If somebody tells someone what they think they want to hear, but knowing full well that they have no intention of following through, this will erode your confidence. What we say, the commitments we make, the promises we make, and the extent to which we keep them will directly impact our self confidence and our self esteem. That's just how it works. In this video, once again, I would like to direct you to a Chinese word, the word for belief, confidence, and trust. And this word places a person, a standing person, that's what it represents, a standing person next to words. And I won't go into too many details, but because you could really analyze this on and on and on. There's so many layers to this word, but so many layers of meaning. But what this word is basically saying is that the words we speak are not disconnected from our person. We and our words are one. What this script is basically saying is that we're only as good as our word. If we keep our word, it will inspire confidence in other people who will then know that they can trust us. And it will also inspire confidence in us because we know when we look at that man or woman in the mirror, we know that that is somebody who keeps their word. So it's very important. If you apply this single piece of advice, I promise you that your confidence will increase. You can't do it for one day or 1 week or even 1 month. It needs to become a part of who you are, your character. You know, there's a saying, we're only as good as our word, and that's very true. When we don't keep our word, people don't take us seriously. They say, her words don't mean anything to her, or his words, what he says, doesn't mean anything to him. And, when people don't have confidence in us, we will find it difficult to have confidence in ourselves a lot of the times. And when we know we have good reason not to have confidence in ourselves, then, all fall down, right? All fall down. So it's really important to keep your commitments. And I would also like to direct you to a passage, I believe it's in the Psalms, where God says that we are to keep our promises to our own pain. And what that means is when we make a promise, we have to regard it as being so sacred that if at some point we realize that we spoke too quickly or we made a rash commitment, even so, even if it's painful to us, we are supposed to keep our word. And of course, if it's some ridiculous thing like, you made some promise that could involve some degree of criminality or something like that, obviously you don't have to hold yourself to that. But as far as it is reasonable, morally reasonable and acceptable, we are to keep our promises to our own pain. So keep your commitments if you want to really be a person who has high self-esteem, who can hold their head high, and who feels like they can walk through this life with a real strong sense of dignity. Keep your commitments. So that's it for this video. Keep your commitments. And again, you're not just keeping it for today and tomorrow and then going back to your old ways. No, this has to become a habit. It has to become a part of your code of honor. If you don't have a code of honor, you really have very little. Everybody should have a code of honor. And one of the highest principles that anybody could adhere to and honor when you have a code of honor is keeping your promises, keeping your commitments, keeping your word, because you're only as good as your word. So that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, thank you for giving it a thumbs up. And if there are people who you think should hear this, please share it with them. Until the next time.